What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be starting a D&D campaign with someone I know, and so I wanted to run through and create a character for said campaign. And I kind of wanted to run you through the character creation. We're going to be doing a 5th edition adventure. So we're not super sure what we want to do. I'm thinking I want to run more of like a support character due to the person's inexperience in playing D&D, but we're going to go ahead and do the custom creation. Also, if you like this hoodie, you should, it's really comfortable, by the way, and it's big too, so it's like comfortable, warm, and if you're a gym goer such as myself, um, it's great if you're trying to sweat out some things, or if you like wearing hoodies to the gym. I personally don't like wearing hoodies to the gym, but this is a really nice hoodie. So I'll drop the code right here to get 15% off on anything you purchase. So yeah, go check it out. Iron Haven's really good. They have a lot of good clothes. I have 2 of their shirts and this hoodie. Very, very good. My only thing is they don't have accessories like lifting straps and like wrist things for benching. I've never used those. But I just checked because I left mine at the gym today. So I do have an extra pair, but they're not like the rope or like the strap where you actually tie around. It's just like the flap, so you just kind of like put it in, flip it around, and then kind of wedge your hands into it, and then you pull like that. So it's similar, but if they're not good, then I'll get new ones. But anyways, let's get into the character creation. So, hey, as we can see here, we have a 5th edition character sheet. Let's just fill out some of the things we already know. Like, my name is Wyatt. And that's about it. So, wish I could share both my screens at the same. I don't really want to play Paladin though. You know what I mean? Because the smites and everything, they're cool, but let's okay. Before we just go to hasty generalization, let's look up some spells they get and some of the oaths they have. So, Sacred Oath, they got Ancients, which is like trees and foresty stuff. Conquest. They do have a lot of auras, though. I just realized that, and that's like pretty cool. That's the Flame of Hope. It's not enough for enemy in battle. Rule with the Iron Fist. Strength of Evolve. So that's definitely not something we want to do. Crown. We're definitely not putting our oath to a crown. Oh, well, actually, we could. Crown would be pretty cool. Because that could be, yeah, law, loyalty, courage, responsibility, command, compelled to, warding, bond. Yep. Okay. Aura, vitality, spirit, guardians, banishment. Okay. So we'll start with Paladin because that's what we spun. I know we spun Warlock first, but we want to kind of spice things up. So if we are going to go Paladin, I have to pee really quick. Okay, I'm back. But so if we go Paladin, that automatically gets rid of Fighter. So we're not going to go Fighter. That's definitely out of the question. And if we go Paladin, that means we don't have to go Cleric either. So let's see what. And the thing is, I've done Paladin and Warlock multi-class, so we're also not going to do that because that's rinse and repeating. That gets boring for me. So we're getting rid of Fighter, getting rid of Warlock, Cleric as well, and then we'll add in Wizard amongst these, and this will be our second class. Ooh, Paladin Ranger. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So we're going to do a Paladin Ranger multi-class. Let's get rid of the wheel. Let's get rid of Artificer. And then we want Google. We're going to go Ranger D&D 5e. And we're going to pick between the two which one to start off with. So now that we're going this, what's the Ranger spellcasting modifier? wisdom. So we need wisdom and charisma. Wisdom and charisma, which means dwarf might be back on the table. So let's go ahead and pull dwarf back up. We have tiefling, dragonborn, elf. Okay, let's pull the spinner back up. Let's choose our race. I know we're kind of jumping all over the place, but let's see. We have dwarf. We have tiefling. We have dragonborn. We have elf. Then we have human. Let's think. I don't want to do elf because although they buff some stuff that we want, they don't buff everything we want. So we're going to take out the elf. And we'll spin between these four. This will decide our race. Okay, low key, I don't want to play human. Played one too many humans. I'm sorry. I know I'm kind of like wishy-washy here, but honestly, I was hoping for dragonborn. So I think that kind of gives us exactly what we want. A dwarf would be cool too, but I don't play dragonborn too often. So let's do some dragonborn. So I know you can't see my character sheet. I'll pull it up that way. I'll pull it up anytime we have to fill something out. So we have Paladin and Ranger, but then we're going to go dragonborn, and I'm feeling silver. I think a silver dragonborn is like protection. You know what I mean? So we'll go dragonborn, and then we'll go silver. And obviously we have our proficiency bonus down here because we're starting at level 2. The movement speed is going to be 30 feet. We'll bring this back over. I guess we'll just minimize it here. So we have Dragonborn. So let's fill out our Dragonborn stuff before we choose our race. So, that means we have to do a stat roll. Now, how I normally do it is you roll 4 dice and you choose your stats. But I'm going to look up different ways to choose stats in D&D. So you have the standard method, which gives you these 6 base stats. Point buy. You start off with a pool of points and spend them to buy abilities. Rolling, which is what I normally do. I kind of want to start off... I kind of want to try the standard array method because it makes it simple. And I feel like it's also going to be... damn, I wish I had more energy drink. And I feel like it's going to be... more beneficial for newer players. I also like the fact that it's like... What I like to do, like homebrew rules, which I've never done before, but I want to incorporate, is training a stat. So if you want to be like higher intelligence, like, and you actively search out books, scrolls, and stuff like that, and you actively look up things, over time your intelligence will increase. Same thing with like wisdom, charisma, yada yada yada. Like charisma, that's kind of a hard one to increase because it would have to be like how inspiring you can be. Like if you're like I want to inspire this group, and then you're like, I'm gonna give this speech, and you give a bomb ass speech, I'm gonna give you an extra point for charisma. And then obviously dexterity, strength, and constitution. That's all kind of like training, So I have a lot of homebrew rules that I really like, which allow for really creative gameplay. But I'm gonna get some water. Also, the cut is going really well. I had to decrease my calories and do increased cardio, so... That will be fun. Like, I'm already super hungry, but I only have 1 meal left, Maybe 2. I don't know. I'll have to do some math. But we'll do the standard array method. So now let's see if we want to start off with Paladin or Ranger. Which one has the best like entry to protection? Now with Rangers we have favorite enemy, natural explorer. We also have, they both start off with a D10 or 1d10 for hit dice, which is pretty cool. We can get medium armor. With Paladins we have heavy armor. The natural explorer will be nice for traveling as a group. That's a pretty good starting, because with Paladins, for starting, you just have Divine Sense and Lay on Hands, which Lay on Hands is healing, so that could also be a really good starter class. So let's do a coin toss here. I'm going to keep these up because I'm going to need those stats. Coin toss. Oh, I didn't even say it. So heads, Ranger, tails will be Paladin. Let's flip it again. We'll do best 2 out of 3. Okay, tails it is. So tails is Paladin. So we're going to go Paladin. So let's pull up our character sheet. We have Paladin. Let's capitalize P. Paladin level 1. Okay. So we can get rid of Ranger for now. We can get rid of the subclass. So level 1. Let's do our hit dice. So let's split screen this. So we have hit dice. We have 1d10. Total is 1d10. At first level, you always start off with max. So that's just how I do it. So it'll be 10 plus con modifier. So let's go to stats. Let's assign the stats, right? As a Paladin, we're going to need strength, constitution, and charisma. Those are our 3 mains. Dexterity is obviously going to be a good one. Intelligence and wisdom don't really are qualified until we become a ranger. So we want to keep our wisdom a little higher because of the ranger subclass. So let me drink water. I'm so dehydrated. So I'm going to put, let's see what the Dragonborn gives us too. We get +2 to strength and +1 to charisma. So let's put our, let's go 14 in strength, so that'll automatically make it a 16. Put 15 in constitution. We'll put our 13, so our 14 is in constitution, which +1 is 15. We're going to put our 14, or I'm sorry, what? Okay. Putting our 14 in strength, which gives us a 16. We're putting our 15 in constitution, because we don't have a bonus. And we're going to put our 14 in charisma, or our 13 in charisma, which gives us a 14. We're then going to put a 12 in wisdom. We'll put a 10 in dexterity, and then we'll make our intelligence 8. Not the brightest in the bunch. So let's go ahead and do the modifier. 16 is +3. Dexterity is a 0. 15 is going to be a +2. Intelligence is a -1. Wisdom is going to be, for a 12 is +1. Charisma is going to be a +2. So hit points is going to be 10 plus your constitution modifier, so that's going to be a max of 12. Our current hit points is going to be 12. Now as a Paladin, down here we're going to do languages. We speak Common. Everybody speaks Common. Then we speak Draconic. Put Common after that because we'll probably learn some more. We got weapon proficiencies. We have Simple, Martial. For armor, we have All. And for tools, we have none. So, and then going down the line, we have saving throws as Wisdom and Charisma. So let's go ahead and fill all this out. So we have a +3 strength saving throw, a 0 dexterity saving throw, a +2 to constitution, or sorry, yeah, +2 to constitution. We have a -1 to intelligence saving throw, and then we have a +3 because we're proficient in it for wisdom, and then we have a +4 for charisma. So pretty good so far. Our initiative is going to be our dex modifier, so we have a 0 initiative. And then we get to choose 2 from this. As a paladin, I want to do I want to do insight. So it's going to give us a +3 to insight. And then we're going to do we're going to do athletics. I feel like it's a good one to always have. It's a +5. We'll go ahead and just fill these out really quick. Okay, so those are our skills. Alright. Now, going back to let's do our racials first. So we're being a protector, so we're going to go chaotic good. And the reason why I'm doing chaotic good is because I want this character to be like, I will defend whatever I have to defend at all costs. Meaning that they will do anything to achieve that goal. We'll get to background in a second. Let's see here. Size, speed, draconic and wow, I can't freaking speak. So we got our first racial is draconic. Ancestry. Sorry, I was like, is that how you spell draconic? We are a silver dragon, which is going to be cold. We have our breath weapon, which we'll put under attacks and spellcasting. So breath weapon, and then I'm going to just copy and paste. I'm going to say must complete a short or long rest after use. We get draconic resistance, so that's another ability. Draconic resistance, which is just going to be for cold. And we already did the languages. And we're not doing any of this because this is all different. So we're done with Dragonborn. Let's go back to Paladin. Our first ability is going to be Lay on Hands, which we're just going to copy and paste. When you take a long rest, we have a healing pool. Big ability there, and then we have Divine Sense, which I totally just skipped over. I'm not going to copy just because I know it does. I'm just going to say see player's handbook. Okay. Now we're going to go into what we start off with. We start off with a martial weapon and a shield, or two martial weapons. So let's go ahead and weapons, D&D 5e. Now I either want to do a great sword, or we're going to do a long sword. Plus a shield. So let's see. Because we're going strength, which means we don't want any finesse weapons. Because if we do great sword, that'll allow us a 2d6 damage, which is pretty good. However, there's a fighting style known as protection. When a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to pose disadvantage on the attack roll. You must be wielding a shield. So we want to be doing something like that. So anything heavy we have to use 2 hands for. Could use a battle axe. Let's do a battle axe. So we'll go battle axe, shield. Let's put down battle axe here. We have a +3 to strength and +2, so that's +5 to attack. And it's going to be 1d8, and in parentheses I'm going to say, or not 1 to 9. 1 to 8 parentheses 10, +3. Okay. Then we have a shield which gives us, I believe, let's go armor. I believe armor, shield gives us +1 or +2. Gives us +2 to armor class. Cool. So now we're going to go back to here. 5 javelins and or a simple melee weapon. We're going to go with the 5 javelins. So javelin 5. And then let's go ahead and bring up weapons again. They do 1d6, so javelin, that's a +5 to attack. It's 1d6 +3. Okay, and then we could do priest pack or an explorer's pack. We're gonna go with an explorer's pack. And we're just going to copy and paste all of the items into here. I guess we won't. So we have a backpack, we have a bedroll, we have a mess kit, tinder box, torch, we have 10, rations, 10, water skin, and then rope, 50 feet. Okay. Now as the last we get a chainmail and a holy symbol, so we're going to put holy symbol down here, put a comma after that, and then right after javelin we will do chainmail. And then if we go to armor, chainmail gives us a 16 armor class. We have +2 because of the shield, so we have an 18 armor class to start off with, which is incredible, by the way. So we are done with level 1. Let's go to backgrounds. we want to be a sort of like a protector one. We could go noble. Noble's a good one. We can close out a paladin. Actually, we're going to need to bring that back up just for knight. It could be a good one. Soldier could be a good one. An acolyte could be a good one. Okay. So we have knight, or we have noble, knight, or we have noble, the variant which is knight, and then we have soldier and acolyte. So see, they give us acolyte features shelter of the faithful. We can find rest at any church, which is really helpful. As a soldier, we have military rank. You can invoke your rank, usually gain access to friendly military equipment. That's pretty cool. Knight. That's really cool, actually. I think I might just go with knight. Because noble's pretty cool. But I don't want to be a noble. Let's be a knight. So for a background, we will go knight. We have variant feature retainers. Retainers. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Use service of 3 retainers loyal to your family. These retainers be messengers, might be major domo. Don't know what that is. Your retainers are commoners who can perform mundane tasks for you, but they do not fight for you. Will not follow you into obviously dangerous areas, such as dungeons. They will leave there. So we'll just go ahead and copy that. And I will just go ahead and erase this, and then I'm going to list what my under bonds. Let's go to allies and organization. I'll say I have a messenger named Philip. I'm going to say Philip Leinhart. I have, is that how you spell messenger? Messenger. It's with an E. And then we'll have, who else do we want to have? I think a blacksmith will be pretty cool. Like having a blacksmith. So blacksmith. So Philip Leinhart is going to be a human. Our blacksmith friend is going to be Dorn. Anvil hammer. He's going to be a dwarf. And then we're going to go with, so we have a blacksmith, a messenger. We could do I could do like a steward, or like, what are those? Yeah, stewards. I don't know if I want to, yeah, we could do a steward. And our steward will be a halfling named Andre Smarden. Andre Smarden, and he's going to be a halfling. Cool. So we have our 3 acquaintances. So let's just go down here. Now it says we usually have a symbol of something. So let's go to, we're going to look up D&D gods. Gods, D&D 5e. do something with life because we want to protect those in need. Goddess of joy, god of birth and renewal, is there a god of protection? Helm, look at that. Helm, god of protection. So under our acquaintances, we'll put Helm, god of protection. Could also just do Jesus, but I want to go D&D style, so let's see. Helm, god of protection is a lawful neutral, so we will change our alignment based off our gods. So lawful, neutral. Alright, let's go ahead and just fill out our things really quick. So age, we're going to go with, we are 23. And Dragonborn, like, it's every 3 years is like a year, right? So what's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So we could do, I'm 8 years old technically. 8, I'm just going to put 24. Height will be a good 5'10". That's how tall I am. We want to be a burlier person, so we'll do, as a Dragonborn, you want to be heavier, so I'm going to say around like 245. Eyes, we're going to go with blue. Skin, silver. And then hair will to be determined. So now if I go to this, I'm also proficient in history, which is giving me +1, and persuasion, which is now going to be +4, which is pretty cool. We are not proficient in a type of gaming set, so I'm going to say cards and keep it simple. We can speak an additional language, so since we have a dwarf in our party, we're going to speak Dwarven, because I am trying to be a very very kind person. Like, although I'm a knight and I have 3 servants, to me, I want them to be viewed as not servants. You know what I mean? Alright, we also get a set of fine clothes, so let's go fine clothes. A signet ring, so I'm going to say Ring of Helm. A scroll of pedigree, which is basically like saying, hey, I'm a knight. Pedigree. And a purse containing 25 gold. Now, if I remember correctly, there is money chart D&D. Let's go Google again. What does a Paladin start with money? There we go. Okay. As Paladin, we get 5d4 times 10. So let's go ahead and pull up a dice roller. 5d4. So 8 times 10, or 8 times 10 is 80, plus your 25 is going to be 105. We can close out of this for now. We don't need this. Let's go back to armor and see if we can sell our chainmail and get a higher armor, heavy armor to start with. So we can sell our chainmail for 75, which gives us 180, which we can't buy anything higher than that because we already need 200 gold for splint mail. So we will just keep our if we had a higher dex, I would definitely go with half plate, because if we had like a +2 to dex, we could get a 17 plus our shield to be 19. Looks like we can't, so we're gonna close out of that. I feel like a knight has a sword, though. Nah. Yeah. We're going to go longsword. I didn't want to go longsword, but as a knight, I feel like that's kind of... Longsword. Longsword. Which is still the same. We're just going to have to change this up. Okay, and then that's it for our background. Let's do our personality traits. I'm going to read them, see if they kind of give me anything I would want to do. And yeah, let's read them. So, my eloquent flattery makes everyone I talk to feel like the most wonderful and important person in the world. I like that one. Common folk love me for my kindness and generosity. Also love that one. No one could doubt by looking at my regal bearing that I am cut above the unwashed masses. I take great pains to always look my best and follow latest fashions. I do not like to get my hands dirty. I like that despite my noble birth, I do not place myself above other folk. We all have the same blood. I also like the common folk, like my generosity. I feel like I want to be a very generous person. Ideals: respect, responsibility, independence, power, family, noble obligation. We're going to go with protection. And then we're going to follow up with this basically, but we're going to change its demeanor to protection. So it is my duty to protect the, I'm going to say, the people of those around me, just as those. I'll just keep it at that. Simple, right? Bond. Say the common folk must see me as a hero of the people. Flaw. I'm going to say my flaw is that I will sacrifice myself above anybody else. I will sacrifice... I didn't spell that right. Yeah, it's an I. Sacrifice myself above anyone else. Cool. So now we have the first page completely filled out. So let's go ahead and see if we can find a picture. Silver Dragonborn Knight. I like this one. Okay, looks like it didn't save, so... I really want like a silver. I like this guy. Let's go ahead and capture the likeliness. So hair, we'll say black horns. Okay. Let's go ahead and finish this up. We have nothing of this, but we'll go Paladin. Spellcasting ability, charisma. Yeah, we don't have that yet. Alright, let's look up some basic Dragonborn names, see if we can come up with something. Dragonborn names. I like Emrith. I'm going to say Emrith. I'm gonna give my guy a title. It'd be Emrith the Guardian. Spelled that wrong. That's crazy. Okay. Emrith the Guardian. And then actually we'll go ahead and cancel out that, put that there, and then we'll put Helm here, God of Protection. And then we'll go ahead and look up Helm symbol. Basic, I like this. Okay, let's just do this. We don't have any treasures, and backstory we don't have, so we're going to Emrith the Guardian. So we can close out of that, and then we can minimize that. And that is going to be it. Ooh. There we go. That is going to be it for this video. It took me an hour to do this, but we're going to cut this up a little bit. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this, because we're going to be kind of, as time goes on, probably do more of these because my guy might die. Who knows? But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. As always, hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next Dark Souls video.